Hello everyone, Rocket here with my third video created to hopefully help new players in Star Trek Online. This one will focus on those looking for their endgame tier 6 ship, so here are some tips I always suggest when picking the best ship for you. These ships are unlocked at level 50, which is why level 40 is the last time you get a new free ship, aka your tier 5. Tip number 1 has to be ship aesthetics. In order to pick the right ship, you must enjoy the look of your new baby. This is where your end game will begin, so it will be with you for a long time, possibly until they release the next expansion. So you've got to pick something that looks just plain cool to you. As an example, I gotta say, you'll find a lot of men picking female characters because at the end of the day, you'd rather stare at a female bum than a male bum. Tip number 2 has to be that it's equally important in looking at the price of your ship that you want to buy. There are several ways to acquire tier 6s, but the reality is you still need to spend real life money regardless, unless you're willing to hold out until summer or winter events, or any special events in between, which will generally give you a free ship after grinding a daily event maybe 14 days in a row. Now, why I've said you need to spend cash is because you can either buy ships with Zen points straight from the Zen store, buy fleet ships with fleet credits and fleet modules bought from the exchange, you can buy ships straight from the exchange, or you can get roughly 0.4% chance in winning a ship from a lockbox. Fleet modules, exchange ships, and the amount of lockbox keys you will need will cost way over the 10 million energy credit cap you are given as a free-to-play account. So my advice is, if you want to go down this road, buy enough Zen to cover the 500 Zen price of unlocking the EC cap and start saving. You can use my previous guide to help you there, or you can spend £20 to £30 and pick up a tier 6 straight from the Zen store. I say £20 to £30 as it is probably worth more for you to buy them in a bundle as opposed to separate ships, as you could get a ship for each class that you make then. Any ships bought from the Z store will be usable by all of your characters, but any bought with energy credits are bound to that character only. I bought a couple of bundles myself in order to have a variety of ships, just like I said, because I also play, as well as a science character, I play my tactical and an engineer captain. My third tip, as I just mentioned, is to pick something based on your class. Yes, it's true, any captain can fly any ship, but to get the most out of a ship, it would be best if you choose something that can complement your captain's abilities, such as an engineer's benefit from huge dreadnought cruisers, as they have a high base level of health, so they can be very tanky, and tactical captains will benefit from small agile ships such as the temporal raider or escorts, where they can cause some great burst damage. As a science main, I love my science ship for their extra slots. This brings us on to tip number 4. When selecting your ship, you'll want to have prepared a build in your mind and how you want to plan to fight using it. This means you should look for a ship which has certain buff slots available, such as 2 tactical seats, in order to maximise the amount of attack patterns and whatnot available to throw around with. My science build revolves around several science buff skills, so if I want to use a tactical based escort, I'd probably play similarly to polishing a turd. For tip 5, you need to look at how you want to build your ship weapons and consoles. Do you want 5 front weapons, as the Romulan ships might have? That is a good setup for those dual heavy cannon or dual beam bank builds, as they have a small frontal cone. If you want to go for a ship with equal front and aft weapon slots, I like to pick a beams build, which you'll spend mainly fighting on your broadside. With consoles, you need to consider, are you an all-out weapons kind of person? Or will you be focusing on a science magic? Each ship comes with a specific amount of console slots, so you want to make sure you can add enough tactical consoles to cause huge weapon damage, or engineering consoles if you want the biggest tank in space. With tip number 6, each ship comes with inherent traits. Once unlocked, you can add it to your captain as a small buff just like your space and ground traits. You don't need to continue using the ship once you've gotten it, so a lot of veteran players will unlock ships just for their traits. The way this works is that every time you get an enemy kill, you gain XP. Gain enough XP and you will unlock some passive buffs for your ship until it reaches level 5, which unlocks the trait. Some of the best traits have come from event ships, so aren't readily available to everyone now, so it would be wise to check up on the various websites to see which traits would benefit for you with the build you are aiming to make. You also want to look at ships that will complement your specialization points, as you'll be able to craft manuals to train your buffs in your chosen field, allowing them to unlock new skills different to general available options. For example, I spec'd in Temporal Operative. By spending 10 points on this, I'm able to craft specialization qualifications for my buffs. I use my favourite ship, the Temporal Multi-Mission Science Vessel, which has 2 seats for temporal buffs, as indicated by their extra symbols there. It also tells you that they're temporal, which allows them to use extra skills in space. My final tip, and not so important, is that when you buy a tier 6 ship, it will come with its own console. Some are better suited than others, and if you purchase a bundle from the Zen store, you can often pick up whole console sets. I love the temporal set and the extra abilities it brings, but some consoles can be pretty rubbish. So it's worth looking out for ships that have good consoles of which you can build around. If not, they can still be replaced by fleet or crafted consoles. So that's it from me. Hopefully this video has helped you with selecting your next ship upgrade. If it has, please let me know in the comments, and please share your views on ships that you think are the best for tier 6. And check out the rest of my channel if you're interested in different variety of videos. I mainly do co-op games and would absolutely love extra subscribers. As always, thank you for watching, live long and prosper.